I've played a lot of cozy games that ask you to rebuild a town, and most of them let you coast, but this one's got a grind buried in it that I did not expect. And I have thoughts, both good and bad, so let's not waste any time and get right into it. Hi gamers, I'm Stormy and welcome to the Day Show. I review life sims, cozy games, and management sims. If it involves farming, crafting, or life adventures, it's probably somewhere on this channel. Lagoon comes out on August 27th on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Thank you to the developers for giving me access to review this ahead of the launch. Quick setup so you know what you're getting yourself into. You fly a seaplane between a bunch of tropical islands, you vacuum up resources with a tool called the swirler, and you're using all of it to rebuild communities that got wrecked in a storm, while also trying to figure out what happened to your uncle who is currently missing. So you get a distress call from your Uncle Lou, you fly out to check on him, and when you land, the islands are a mess, storm damage everywhere, and Lou is just gone. Nobody knows where he went, so on top of rebuilding these communities and helping people out, you're also piecing clues together along the way, trying to figure out what actually happened to him. It gives you a reason to keep going besides just liking the vacuum, which to be fair is also a good reason because it really is a fun way to collect resources, I am not gonna lie. You start out with a cutscene, and then you're straight into your character creation. I want to give credit where credit's due. The options here are pretty good. You have a good range of skin tones, hairstyles, all of it. The NPCs you'll meet look a little wacky, honestly, but it does grow on you. And if you change your mind about your own look later, you can go back and redo it through various salons and things of that nature, so nothing is permanently locked in. Once you're past the menus and initial tutorials, the game hands you your primary tools one at a time instead of dumping everything on you at once, which I appreciated. There's the swirler, which is basically how you pick up anything, plants, scraps, wildlife drops, whatever. There's the scooper, which is kind of like a metal detector, a fishing rod, a glider, and a builder tool, and that's how you put furniture and structures together. The pacing on introducing all of this is actually really good and never felt super overwhelming. Between running around on islands, you're flying your seaplane, which I loved doing. It feels smooth and forgiving to control, and I want to stress that because I am a bad driver at every single game I play. You do not want to see me playing Mario Kart. It is very, very sad. This one, though, I did not struggle with it. You can repaint your seaplane, customize the panels, and make it look like your own. And once you've explored enough, you do unlock fast travel. If you would rather skip the flying, just get somewhere quicker, that does become an option as well. Now let's talk about what you're actually doing most of the time, because I think this is the part that people need to hear before you buy. The core loop here is fetch quests. Someone needs an item, you craft it, you hand it over, you move over to the next person. The crafting itself is easy to learn, no real barrier here. But the demand grows fast in a way that reminded me of late game Pal World. Say you need a power source. That power source needs a specific ore. The ore that you need needs to be a different ore that's refined, and refining it needs pearls, which you probably haven't collected yet, so you need to go gather them. If you've played Pal World into late game, you already know exactly what this feels like when you start making computers. That is not a knock to the game, it's just information. If you like that kind of loop where you're always working towards the next material and the next task, you're going to sink a lot of hours into this happily. If this kind of grind wears you down, I'd play this in shorter sessions rather than all at once because it can start to feel like a chore if you push through it all in one sitting. I don't think that means the game is bad, I just think you should know what you're walking into. Each island has its own personality and its own people. Exploring these islands and working through what each community needs was, for me, a really great part of the game. The writing is great and you can tell it has a lot of heart and soul poured into it. Building out your own lot at Lagoon feels good in pieces. Walls and foundations snap together cleanly, which is way more than I can say about a lot of games. My one real complaint is the roof. There is no way to get an overhead view or climb up things to check to see what you're doing, so you're building above your own head level, essentially blind, and hoping that it lines up correctly. Now, I did not play this game all the way to credit roll, so maybe that changes at some point, but I played for quite a long time and I never saw that type of change, so I don't think it changes. You'll see that my house in the game is kind of boring and lame because, quite frankly, I focused a lot of my time into progressing quests and all of that grinding that I mentioned previously instead of decorating. But there are tons of furniture and decor options to make your little lot as cozy as you want. That's just not something that I ended up focusing on, unfortunately. Another real friction point is your inventory space. You've got your backpack and your plane storage, and even combined, I did run out of room a lot, especially early on. I pick up everything in games that I play. It's a compulsion at this point, and Lose Lagoon kind of puts you into a tough spot if you pick every single thing up like I do. It does get better. You unlock storage upgrades as you progress, but be ready to sell some things in the meantime. Now, I played this on PC with a controller because I do like to test the controller compatibility when I do these types of reviews. It never crashed on me once, movement stayed smooth the entire time, and it felt really polished. The mystery around Lou gives the whole game a spine, something pulling you forward in between the fetch quests, and I liked following the story. Between the character creator, the outfits, the plane customization, and decorating your own lot, there is a real amount of yourself that you get to put into this game as well. Now, drumroll please, is this for everyone? No, probably not. If a fetch quest crafting loop sounds exhausting to you on paper, it's probably going to be exhausting in practice, and this game won't change your mind. But if you already know you like this kind of game and you like this kind of loop, Lose Lagoon is genuinely charming, it's well written, and you're gonna lose a weekend to it without noticing, because I certainly did. If this is your jam, you know how much of a time sink these loops become. Overall, I had a really good time playing Lose Lagoon. I thought it was really fun, it took up a ton of my time, and although it does get quite grindy, I think that it is worth it, if you like this type of thing. Please let me know down in the comments if you are planning on purchasing this game. If you are still here listening to me go on and on, first of all, thank you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I do this so that you don't have to impulse buy another game that you'll play for 20 minutes and then feel buyer's remorse about. If you want to stick around, I've got another cozy review popping up on your screen shortly. And otherwise, I will see you all in the next video. Bye!